Hey guys, so we're back. Thanks for waiting. We were having trouble taking our thumbnail picture because we kind of both look half dead. We're so tired. But here we are. Spirituality and the importance of it. We're going to talk about that. Of how important we cannot forget. We cannot forget on how to invest time in ourselves and also in ancestors, our spirit guides. By even if it's us just meditating within ourselves, that we don't feel weak and we don't forget where we're coming from. Spirituality is very important because it actually helps to intensify your energies and your powers. What do you have to say about this, Michael?
Well, when it comes to the spiritual path, we can define spirituality in many different ways. That spirituality could be part of just being that kind, caring, considerate person that we should be. But who is to say what that is the right way? Other ways, such as the dark castings in spellwork, could be the opposite. And I don't see it as light or dark. I just see as we can take a different journey in our own way to get justice for the people. If that's the way we heal others, then that's the way it should be. But for the spiritual side, I think the ability to takes a little bit of everything instead of taking a huge dose of one thing, which is not healthy for the mind, body and spirit. Because, we're going to overload and get obsessive with one particular thing. Being obsessive in, say, just spell work, or obsessive in just healing, or obsessive in just anything really, it's just not good for the soul. I find that we should take meditation and balance our own hearts to what we truly should be and what we truly should do, which is ultimately to balance everything around us and balance our relationships with people. And Heber's dog, actually.
Yeah, so
but
she's a sweetheart.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
She just happens to want to come in again, add into the spirituality of being a good person. Look what is in the picture right now, an animal. What does that indicate to us? That if we're kind and caring towards animals, then that truly starts there. Because if we're negative and horrible to animals and not treating them in a compassionate way, because they have feelings as well, but in a different way, then how the heck can we send those energies to people? We're going to end up doing the same what we do to animals to people around us. And we could be hypocritical about it, because if we have been cruel in some way to animals, then it's only going to manifest, and the universe is going to watch every move that we make. In the spiritual journey, we're asking why things happen, what situations in our life, why are we going through this, why? Well, maybe we should stop asking why. Maybe we've been something's been taken away from us for a reason. Maybe something didn't go to plan to the way that we wanted it to, because maybe we're mirroring into the universe, throwing out to the universe negative things. Maybe it's about ourselves. Maybe it's about our life, our work, the people around us. Maybe the people around us are not good for us. We need to make choices to decide who's in our circle. And sometimes it's difficult to remove people from that circle because we love them so much. We may care and love them, but sometimes we don't like the person that they are. And that's okay to not like the person that they are. But it isn't okay to tolerate and put up with the abuse or the emotional baggage that they're throwing to us. It's very, very important that we have an upgrade on who we are from time to time. We have to, take a step back, reflect on certain things that we've been through, and we don't question and ask why. They just happen for a reason. Situations occur because we have gone through a major hurdle in our life. If we can't jump that hurdle, it's because we need to push ourselves more. We need to love ourselves more. We need to believe in ourselves more. We need to stop the insecurities. We need to stop mistrusting others. We need to stop the rageful antics the way we are as people. It is important that we let it out, but don't use the people that we love as a dartboard.
True. And again, pertaining to spirituality, it's important so that you gain access to that spiritual power. And a lot of ways, some people may not know how to connect with spirit guides, even though they're always around you, or ancestors. Little things like giving out offerings, such as incense, that I love to do. Every morning, you will find at 10 for my deities first, my ancestor altar, and then I go outside to the spirit of the land to offer them. And you would see such a great difference if you begin to do this. Giving them an offering like that is because it takes it up to the sky and it appeases them. So the saying goes, as above, so below. Investing yourself. Spirituality doesn't also have to be about lighting a candle or lighting incense. It could be about painting. It could be about taking a walk, connecting, looking at the trees, connecting with your pet. You spending time alone. Spirituality comes from within. Living a true
But there are other questions that people have asked. So.
yes, about what can you give as an offering. I like to give incense. I to my deity I give other things, which when it comes to my deity, she's my Hecate, and everybody knows that. But I never show a ritual or my actual what I'm doing with her. I've never shown a video about them because it's a very personal thing to me, and I think when some people like to share that I can't. I don't, not that I can't. I find it more like a personal thing. It's just like, I don't know, breastfeeding my child. I would never do that. I've done it in public, but I always covered up. But would I record myself doing it? No, I wouldn't. It's a very personal thing for me. So you can give offerings like that. It depends on your deity. Again, knowing your deity or whatever it is that you're following. Rituals. Some deities are more upkeep than others. What was that question?
I am going to say any questions thrown at us, we're going to answer them at the end because we get so many and we'll never get to talk about what we want to. We will do those live videos where we will connect with people through the live questions straight away, but on this occasion it is just a feedback, a thought, a word of thought on what we're going through. On my feeling of people who believe that the universe is on their side when they're hateful, nasty people, then I'm sorry to say the universe is not on your side in that case, because when we are projecting so much hatred, when the universe is full of love and wonderful things, we can't say that the universe is going to give us something that we need back if we are going to be hateful and love it and unkind to other people. We are mapping our life out to be whatever we want it to be, and if it's going to turn out crap for us, it's because we created the crap.
Okay, that's a big belief system. Let me answer real quick a question that was thrown out right now about dreams. I'm a big time believer in dreams.
How are we getting these questions up? Are we making them visible?
You know what? I hope so. They come up and then they disappear. But the dream thing, I take a lot of notice. Okay, there you go. I take a lot of notice. Let's go over the questions. I take a lot of notice in my dreams. I've been doing it since I was about 14. I started writing them down. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I actually remember them. I don't write them down anymore, but I do begin to kind of recall and try to remember the dream that I had. There's always a significance. Sometimes it's just a dream. Sometimes it's just me sleeping and it's just a regular dream, no matter how freaky it could be. But a lot of times you can take a message out of there from your ancestors, your spirit guides, or just you seeing and spirit coming to you and showing you. That's another way, a big way that spirit communicates with you. It's not always that voice, the way they show it on TV. It's not always like that. Spirit has many ways to share things with you, and dreams are a big time way where they can actually come in and show you and give you more of a I don't know, like a premonition type of dream, which are the ones that I have a lot. So pay big time attention to that. The other question was on my email. It was midnightwitch89@gmail.com, and which is spelled WICH.
Somebody just thanked them for the reading that I gave. The readings don't always consist of connections with spirit guides or spirit loved ones or ancestors. It consists of unraveling some of the things and jigsaws of a reading. I find that, you know, the counselling side psychologically is that one of the best things, and then listening to other people's problems is a good thing too.
I don't know how many more questions are on there, if there's any more.
Well, there was, like I said in this video, it isn't based on us answering the questions. We are going to do videos that will
Yes, that reminds
regard to
me.
that.
So that reminds me again on something I want to cover also. What comes to us, the good and the bad. I've always told people we actually are the creators of our own life. We have our deities and our ancestors to be there, and yes, help us, guide us through and all that. But most of the time, our own creators, the biggest God in your life is your own self. You're the creator and the one that, what does that say? I can't see.
They bought goddess oil. Can they use it to connect with Hecate?
Well, that's the purpose of it. That's the main reason why I made that oil. It was intended for my
For the
Hecate.
goddess.
For Hecate. And it's got all of what she loves and all of her oil, her herbs and her resins. Everything's in there, and it just became something even bigger than that. But yes, that's what I use on my goddess Hecate. And what I was saying real quick about the creating of our own destiny. Yes, we are creators of our own life, the good and the bad. So how can someone say, well, how can you even think that I would want poverty around me? Well, in a lot of ways, there's a small part of you that kind of craves that attention or craves that party, something that you got to change, that subconsciousness way of thinking without you thinking it. In other words, you got to find it deep inside you, what Michael was talking about the way we grow up and things that we don't resolve when we're younger. These things begins to create our future, whether it's a negative or a positive. If you don't get it resolved, it's always going to be there. So let's say I, as a conscious person, want to have prosperity, but my subconscious is thinking, you don't deserve it, Belinda. You don't deserve it because you were this, you were that. You were told this or that when you were young. So subconsciously, I've not come to terms with my conscious behavior or my conscious mind. So this is the kind of classes I'm going to be giving later on in the next year. But yes, again, it's to do a lot with what we're thinking. And we can always create a positive. It's never too late, guys, to bring in that positivity into your life by changing the way we're thinking, by changing the way we're ticking, and by changing the actions that we're doing.
It has to go back to that same concept, obviously, she said about positive thinking, positive action, positive words on the things that we believe and do in life, ultimately to build our lives for the better. But, you know, everything that we do, it all goes back to that concept of we can make things so much more than what it is for the better. For example, if we were to order a goddess oil from Belinda, the shop, at the Etsy shop, it already is forced, you know, with the intention is already been cast and made to whatever Belinda wanted it to be. But you could also make it so much more with your own intention and make it so more wonderful with your own positive energy. That is what she was trying to encourage people to do. Why not, you know, if you're not willing to use your energy and your positive thinking and own powers and gifts on the product, then what would be the point in receiving the items if you're not going to show a negative, if you're not going to show a positive reaction to things of life, then how are you going to get a positive reaction out of the goddess oil?
True. And I know people, when they get our products, and I know other products too from other people, they can feel the energy on it. What would I recommend for you to do with the goddess oil once you get it in your hands? If you're going to be using it with Hecate, I would suggest, if you're not squeamish, take a medical lancet, prick, and drop a drop or two of blood into the oil and stir it around. Then that oil, you anoint your Hecate with it, your statue, or your candle dedicated to her. You put it on yourself, you put it onto your little mojo bags. A very empowering oil. No matter what you get, whether you get it from us or anyone else, empower your oils, empower your candles.
When Belinda myself do the tarot and the mediumship, spirit readings, people often expect straight away that a mediumship reading, that's connection between myself, Belinda as a channel to spirit world, automatically thinking that it could be a message from the spirit world. But in fact, those messages from the spirit world, yes, it is a message that we want like that, but actually, why don't we make the readings and spirit readings so much more than what they could be, which is giving out all to the client, to the people that need to be listened to, and we throw in the counselling, we throw in that inspiration, we throw in the self-esteem, and then they start to tell us their problems, so we know what the problems are then by listening to what they need, and then we can connect with spirit for them to have a more meaningful reason for being there.
Yes, definitely. I want to mention real quick, please don't ingest any of the oils that we make. They're not for digesting or anything in your body.
But there
It's
is
out.
this wonderful like concoction that Belinda's made where you can steep it in your favorite liqueur
Oh
vodka.
yeah, that would be
That
on
is
the.
something that you could buy.
Okay, yes. Oh God, that was just a message. That would be the love potion, which I think it's under love ferment. I'm not sure
Love
that one. Yeah,
ferment mix where
but
it takes 6 weeks. Belinda's already taught me this, so
yeah,
I'm proud to be able to talk about it. I wouldn't be talking about the product and herbology. I'm not full on knowledgeable of herbs, but I'm more gardener. But Belinda has given me the ability to talk about the ferment mix, and I have to explain to the customers what some of these are. Some of the product I'm not entirely sure. So Belinda will be given to you to describe what they do and how long it takes to create the ferment, and she will say how long it takes to
yeah. Well,
create the
usually
ferment.
you get the herbs. It's a love potion mix, and we have it under ferment. I don't know if we've changed it or not. It may be under love potion, love ferment. We're not sure. It goes into your favorite vodka, and I recommend cherry. We do have cherry. That's fine. After 6 weeks. And we're going to wrap it up already because I think people are getting tired. After 6 weeks, you can actually make a beverage for the person of your interest and for yourself. You both take the drink together. You drink it together. And it's a wonderful thing. It has an aphrodisiac in it. So it's just something that I've studied for a while. And you have great effect with it.
But again, if your intention isn't entirely right and you're feeling bad within yourself or you're having conflict with the other partner, then the ferment mix isn't going to work to what you need, because you're going to feel, you know, you've got to work with the spellcaster and the product itself.
Yeah, guys. So know what
We're
you're
not
going to be
entirely
casting.
finished yet. I just yawned a little bit, but there's so much more to say.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be many other videos regarding healing as well, so that's important. Is there any other videos that you think might be of importance
Well, a
to
lot,
the
Michael.
Journey Bell? Other than spellcasting, what ideas do you have, do you think?
Well, this idea was mine here, and I believe very much the importance of actually being spiritual yourself and actually practicing what you're saying, and someone that that you can actually live and show what you're doing and show what you're practicing by doing it. In other words, don't talk too much. Do what you got to do. Show it to those that you love. When it comes to spirituality, remember, spirituality to me is very important. It's not about religion. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person, one that helps and loves. And I try to be kind to those that I love and those that are around me. And sometimes you may not get that same respect or kindness back to you, but know that your actual action is being noticed, and it's being noticed by other forces other than the person that you're actually doing it to. All right. Thank you so much for putting that on there. Thank you for putting our website on there.
Well,
But
there is a website and there's a shop, and they're both connected. It's called a pattern Etsy website called Enchanted Bell, which you can get that on as you go into the shop. It's going to be there, a link. But the Etsy shop obviously has a whole list of products. Some made by me, but a numerous amount of up to 40, 50, 60, 70 items made by Belinda. Some oils, some powders, incense. You know, you've got the Alumbre and the Vesta, that's for cleansing. So there's a numerous amount of things that you can order, and depending on your situation, maybe some of the products you can't just go and purchase them. You've got to go and perhaps ask Belinda for some of those, a direction on what to buy, because your situation might not need, say, a certain, maybe a control oil when it needs something else.
exactly, guys. Remember, sometimes people come to me, they're asking for honey jar spells. It's okay like that. Honey jar spells, but in actuality, you may need more than a honey jar spell. After they ask for the honey jar spell, they may be saying, oh, well, I always ask them to explain the situation, because that person may, okay, my lover left me and they're with someone else. And they've been with someone else for 5 months. Then you need something more than that. So honey jar spell is not going to do justice for what you need. Honey jar spells I do recommend for couples that are together. Maybe you're having a hard time and you're trying to sweeten the other person, but if there's an issue between them both and the other person is actually like not only their physical body but their mind is, you need something, need jar spell. So with that, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up because I do have a shitload of messages coming in and I gotta get to them before people get so impatient. But please be watching out tomorrow. I'm sure there's gonna be a video out And I have all the spell words coming up for sure, but I do not want people to forget the importance of spirituality and the importance of actually investing time in your own mind, your spirit, your body. It's not about having the power. That comes within time. You cannot force anything. It's like someone learning to play the guitar or the piano or whatever. You can't just, oh, I want to be a professional pianist, and I'm gonna take a few lessons and I got it down. No, you need to have patience. You need to be like continue doing it every day, not only like lighting candles and stuff like that, but actually practicing it and getting that set mind that you can actually do it. For 2 months, what can I, what was the question?
I can't get the questions on when we go into the video after it's uploaded. Those questions will come up for us to answer in that way. We do apologise that it keeps coming off the screen. I'm not sure how to click it back on, and it's different with this iPhone that Belinda has. It kind of behaves differently to the Samsung that I have. But I think with us choosing to combine the work together, it's going to mould it to whatever it needs to be for people. Perhaps spell work is for those that truly know that patience is the key, working with Belinda, and also you have to work with the spellcaster as well. You can't just sit on your ass and just do nothing about it. You have to have belief and understanding and patience of the spellcaster, and you also have to have belief and the knowledge that things will be so, because if you don't, then things can't come to pass for you. And other than that, spell work isn't always a solution. You can get up and actually make things happen. Some people can do that, and other people can't. Some people are in an impossible situation where they can't just do that. They need an extra helping hand by somebody like Belinda.
Yeah, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go, and please be watching out for more videos. Many blessings. You guys have a good night.